Thank you. We have been so many times gone through this procedure, me and you, finding a way how to present the name of my country to the Greek audience, and there have been always new ways and means how to do it, but it's a real pleasure for me to be here, and thank you for the organizers for inviting, and to the wonderful group of panelists. I was thinking to make another entry into my speech, especially because I never believed that I would say this, and that is that 99.9% I agree with the speech of Mr. Koumoutsakos. I would only change Skopje to the Republic of Macedonia in his speech, and I would agree 100% with his speech. He gave a really precise analysis of what is going on. The whole centripetal powers of the region are under attack from within, and I mean the European Union and NATO. These are the powers that were giving the bright future to the region. These were the powers that are pulling the region forward, and their absence, or precisely the absence of the force they had before, they're not entirely gone, but their force is gone. For example, I was studying carefully the white paper of President Juncker. We were discussing here, and it somehow became the main topic these days in Delphi. It doesn't have the word enlargement in it whatsoever, in the totality of the paper. In the 5 scenarios, it's always about EU27. In the last scenario, it doesn't even mention EU27, so you might have a hope that there will be some enlargement, but actually there's no enlargement there. So by 2025, we are talking about connected cars that are going with the internet, that are driving themselves through borders, but we're not talking about an enlarged EU, which means that there is no plan in the EU to do it, which means that all of the negative forces that do not want the region progress, prosperity, stability, etc., will have their own impetus to act. Every blockade on the road to European integration of any country in the region gives the forces that don't want the region to be integrated, free, stable, secure, and prosperous, more and more force. So that is why and I always, whether I'm in Greece or anywhere else in the world, I tend to focus on the positive things between our both countries. The fact that our tourists are spending over €1 billion a year in the Greek economy, in tourism and shopping and whatever, when they're visiting. Or the fact that we have 400 companies in the Republic of Macedonia with Greek capital, which are making around €1 billion profit each year. Or the fact that we are working with universities, with ecological organizations, with businesses and whatever stratum of society. So that is why we are so sensitive to any blockade on the part on our European integration or NATO integration, which is not easily solvable, or at least it's not part of the packages that others had. So the name issue is something like that, because it's connected with identity, with language, with personal feelings, with and it blocks the right to prosperity. The prosperity of the nation is being stopped. So I would really, especially I liked your, I'm sorry that I'm referring to you again, but especially like your part when you said Greece must abide to international treaties. And this is the part where I find, the unfortunate veto in Greece, from Greece in Bucharest in 2008, which stopped the Republic of Macedonia to proceed to NATO, and which in the court in The Hague, it was found as a violation of the interim accord, which was the only document functioning between our both countries. So these kinds of situations, these kinds of tension within society is in a big part due to the blockade of European integration and the nervousness within the country of where we are going next. So apart from this, since this is a Balkan panel, then we have neighbors who have their own agendas with their national minorities in other countries or constitutional nations and communities, whatever. So part of this answer why the government formation process is in a standstill right now is as a reaction to this, to a declaration which was made in another capital with our domestic political parties, which has serious implications on the constitutional order and the constitutional setup of policies in the country. So we are yet to see how this will develop. The parties are now under consultations within, and for sure there will be some solution. There are several scenarios on the way. But what I wanted to, several other things to mention. I'm glad that we are building the bottom up atmosphere in the discussions between both countries. Me and Dimitris have been working on several issues on the university level. I'm glad that we are, because we have many, exactly all things in common interest. We have only one difference. And that difference is, for me, something which does not belong to the 21st century. It's something that should be overcome, and it's past overdue, because when I was listening to the alternative minister, he said, as time passes by, it will be more difficult to resolve the issue. He was talking about Cyprus. Because now the last generations in Cyprus who remember living together. And I thought about my country, about our situation. Now people are 26 years old who have been born in the independent Republic of Macedonia, and all they remember are blockades, embargoes, long lines at the borders. And what changed this? This was changed by the improving when European integration went further, and it became a little bit more flexible. However, as time passes by, I think that the solution to this issue will be more difficult to find, because you have generations which do not know anything outside of it.
Okay. Zoran, 1 minute.
Yes. It's
1 minute.
1 minute.
Yes.
So, I agree that the vacuum that is here can be very dangerous. The big other players will use it. And in nature, there is no vacuum. Someone will fill it. The two things that are eternal, according to me, one is in the setup geography. Geography doesn't change, and the other thing is change. Change is always there. So we saw that these factors have been used in a positive or in a negative way, whether we are talking about the Balkan Human Corridor, the 1 million people that pass through our corridor, or we are talking about the interconnectivity with the gas pipelines, or we are talking about neighbors will be neighbors, and or the Chinese project for One Belt, One Road. So we have to, I just want to finish with the positive message that we have to find ways to make this work, to make businesses work faster, easier, youth to be communicating, and then to work on a finale which will take away the one thing that is dividing us. Thank you.